Hey everybody, if you are a beginner and you are finding flower drawing difficult, then this video is absolutely for you because today I'm going to show you different varieties of flower with very simple and easy steps. I'm going to use this ball pen, so grab one ball pen and a paper for today's video, and that's all we need. If you want, you can use a little bit of watercolor at the end, but that is totally optional. So let's start with the first one. So with the help of pencil, you can draw a round or a oval kind of shape tilted towards left side, or you can keep any direction if you want. And then you can start creating petals in a spike form, not straight but curvy and tilted towards left and right. So I'm going to create everything with the help of pen itself, although I have used pencil for a basic guideline. Now start creating these spikes like a structure towards left, right, center, and start creating a flower kind of structure. You don't have to worry about anything. You just need to draw these kind of structure around your oval shape that you have created with the help of pencil. Keep doing until you get satisfied with your flower. You can do more overlapping of petals. You can make it little bushier, adding more and more structure. But I think this much is enough, I guess. And then you can start creating stems. I am not using any rules and regulations to create all these flowers. You can keep these flowers smaller, bigger as per your need. You can create a small flower bud as well if you want to. I am creating this with the help of same concept but smaller in size and little bit closed structure. Now for the leaves, I am doing very simple pattern around the stems. So basically I am going through and creating a zigzag kind of pattern for the leaves, and that's all we need for the first one. Very simple and easy to draw. Now based on the concept that we have used in the first one, I'm going to create my second flower in the same way. So again create a middle string. You can keep it a little bit tilted towards left and right, or you can keep it straight and start creating spikes like we have created in the first one. In the first one the spikes were a little bigger, but in this one I'm keeping it smaller, left, right and center. So basically I am covering the whole string with the help of these kind of structure and make it little bushier so that it should look like flower. You can consider it as wildflower as well. So basically more of a lavender kind of structure, but we are not stressing too much around the petal structure and all. And I think this much is needed for the second one. I'm not creating any leaves for this particular one. You can create the exposed stems little thicker, and that's all for the second one. Now let's move to the third one. Again with the help of pencil you can create a oval kind of structure. These are the standing oval, and you can create multiple or in a group. I'm creating only two for now, and you can create a stem. So this is our basic guideline. You can rub the pencil mark, although I am able to see the oval shape that I needed. Now at the base of the oval shape create sepals. So create 3 sepals for each flower. This is the green structure that we usually see at the base of the flower, and then start creating a stem. I'm using normal ball pen, but you can use needle pen as well if you want to. Now for the oval shape we need to transfer this into a flower like we did for the first and the second one. So again I'm using the same concept, creating a spike kind of structure, but this time very small standing spikes, and I'm going to fill the whole oval shape. Now I'm repeating the same thing throughout the oval shape, and you need to do the same thing for the second flower as well. You can keep the sepal structure little darker so that you can see the difference between the flower and sepals that you have created. I think all these 3 flowers are very different from each other, but the basic concept behind creating these flowers are same. Now you can create leaves. I'm creating little serrated leaves, but you can keep these leaves simple as per your choice and need. So something like this I have created. I'm not spending too much on shading and detailing around the leaves. So I'm keeping it aside and I'm moving towards the next flower. Now in this flower I'm creating a rose kind of structure. So creating the center part little darker, and I have started creating curves around the center part, more towards the downward direction and less towards the upward direction to get a rose kind of perspective. So basically we have created the center part towards the upper side of the oval shape and filling the whole area with the curves like this to convert this into a rose kind of flower. And then you can create sepals at the base, and then you can create leaves. For this particular flower I'm creating leaf like rose leaves. So these are fine serrated and little bit pointed as well. If I will compare all these 4 flowers that we have created, I think these are pretty much similar and very simple to draw. You can definitely try all these flowers once and let me know how you guys feel about these all flowers. I think these are quite simple to draw. You can add little bit of shading and detailing around the leaves and flowers, but anyways we are going to use watercolor, so I'm keeping things simple. Now in the next one I'm creating a center part of the flower having solid dot and then spiral kind of structure around the dot to create the center part. And then I have started creating petals. I'm creating 3 bigger petals into the center, and then in between 2 petals I'm creating few more. So something like this I have created. To be frank, you can do all these things as per your choice and how you feel about all these flowers. I have literally not given much thought around creating all these flowers. So you can create 4 petals for the center and then create rest other petals, or you can keep 4 to 5 petals in a single layer. So that is also fine. And then for the leaves I am creating group of 3 leaves. These are very simple leaves, so I'm basically creating one stem and then 3 leaves left, right and center to create a group. You can do some shading and detailing around the petal area, but not too much shading and detailing is needed, and I think that is enough. I think all these flowers are very easy for beginners. So if you have started doing all these things, I think you should try all these flowers. And now let's move to the next one. So again I'm creating a solid oval kind of shape at the center, creating few curves like we did in the 4th one, and then started creating few petals around it. You can keep multiple layers of petals one after another, but I want to keep these flowers smaller in size, so I have created only 2 layers of petals. So create first layer and then overlap few more petals around it, and likewise you can create bigger flowers as well. You can create group of flowers. These are small flowers, so I like to draw these flowers in a group. You can keep the perspective towards left, right and center, because perspective are important when it comes to the group of flowers or flower bouquet. And then for the leaves I'm not thinking too much. I'm creating few foliages kind of structures, so I'm creating little longer leaves, little smaller leaf, fine structure and spikes kind of structure. So roughly I have created all these leaves. Now in the next one again create the center part and start creating the petals. This time I am keeping the petals little bigger and pointed and longer as well. So you can create first layer like this and create a stem. and then in between two petals you can create multiple other petals to make it little bushier. Make sure for the lower direction petals, the petals should not be very straight. It should be little bit tilted towards left and right so that you can get a nice perspective of flower. Now for the leaves, I am keeping the edges little serrated, having smooth serration in it, like oval kind of structure around the edges, and pointed leaves like this. Now I think I'm almost done with all the flowers. I can create one more. So you can create a structure like this and then create a base of this particular flower. This flower is more of a lily of peace, so similar to that I'm creating, or almost like that you can say. So create a structure like this for the flower, and then you can shade the bottom area little darker, and then create the center part of the flower little longer and bigger. You can create extra dots around the center part to get little shading around it. Now for the leaves, again I'm keeping the lily leaves for this particular one longer and thicker. You can create center line around the leaf, although I'm not concentrating much on shading and detailing. Now the last part we need to do, although we are done with the drawing, so you can keep your drawing as is, or you can do something extra with the help of watercolor. So I'm using very light shade of different colors. So likewise I'm using purple color and creating round kind of structure. I'm not trying to cover the whole flower, and I don't have any rules and regulations for creating all these round. I'm just simply trying to do some random round pattern, keeping some negative space also. So no rules and regulations as such. So first I have used blue color, red color and purple color to create round kind of structure around the flower area. I have used round shape, but literally you can create any shape whatever you like, or you can randomly put all these color around the flower area. That is also totally fine. So do it by your choice and use your own imagination to do all these things. Let it completely dry. Once it gets dry completely, with the help of green color you can create some random pattern around the base. So again, random pattern is totally up to you what kind of pattern you need. I'm using very light shade of all these colors, so try to use lighter color itself so that we can see the flower drawing clearly. For this particular green shade I have mixed blue, yellow and little bit of red as well, and start creating literally random pattern around it. And then with the help of different shade of green you can create few more pattern roughly. I'm not thinking too much, you don't have to copy mine. Create your own stuff, use your own imagination to make all these beautiful flower doodles. So hope you have liked it, and thank you so much for watching.